Atlasmapper is a tile-based map editor for Quake that turns painting on a grid into a playable .bsp. Instead of pushing brushes around in a CSG editor, you paint your level top-down, one cell at a time, and the tool figures out the geometry. The world is a flat grid of cells, each 64 units across, Quake's natural unit for a player-sized texture. You paint floors by clicking, you paint walls by switching to the wall layer and clicking again. The tool extrudes a brush per cell, textured with whatever you pick from the loaded WADs. A 64 by 64 tile lands at 1:1 scale. A 128 by 128 tile snaps across a 2 by 2 block of cells, so big textures stay aligned to the grid instead of breaking up into a noisy patchwork. Borders close themselves. The moment you paint a floor, the cells around it that face into empty space get auto cliffs. Full-height walls that seal the perimeter so the player can't see the void and QBSB doesn't yell about leaks. Concave corners get beveled automatically, so inside corners read as soft chamfers instead of jagged 90-degree steps. You don't draw the outline of your level. You paint the inside, and the outline appears. A map isn't just a flat plane. There are up to 6 vertical layers stacked on top of each other. Layer 0 is the ground. Layers 1 through 5 are walls, half-walls, ramps, and full-height pillars built upward from there. Paint a half-wall on Layer 1 next to a full wall on Layer 2, and you get a stepped silhouette. Paint a ramp instead, and the player walks up. Diagonal corner ramps, NE, SE, NW, SW. Let you slope 2 axes at once for valley-style terrain. Different cells, different heights. That's how you build cliffs, raised platforms, sunken arenas, watchtowers, and switchback paths. The M key in the 3D preview hides full walls and their interior fill prisms, so you can peek inside enclosed rooms without rebuilding anything. On top of the tile geometry sits a separate props layer. Trees, bushes, rocks, boulders, posts, barrels, placed at subcell precision wherever you click. Each one becomes a real brush entity in the .bsp, not a sprite. A forest is a few clicks of the forest generator scattering trees across a region. A settlement is the city generator dropping aligned house blocks. Spawn points and lights live on a gameplay layer of their own, so you can light a courtyard or move the player's start without touching geometry. The result is a map that feels hand-built but came out of a paint program. Floors textured to match the terrain, walls auto-textured to match the floors, props scattered through the playable area, all sitting in their right place because the grid kept everything honest. When you're ready, hit Compile BSB. The editor writes out a .map in Valve 220 format, generates an auto.wad with any internal textures the tool needed, then runs QBSB, leak test, vis, no ambient ski, and light, soft, extra 4 in sequence. The same toolchain professional Quake mappers use, just wired in so you never leave the app. The log streams live in the sidebar. The finished BSB lands in your Quake mods maps/folder. One more click launches Iron Whale with your level loaded. Before any of that, the 3D preview lets you walk the level in first person with WASD and mouse look, looking at exactly the geometry that's about to compile. Iterate in seconds, compile when you're sure. Built for outdoor landscape maps, wider than they are tall, sunlit, and made fast.